Pranayama, regulation of prana or breath. Pranayama is commonly understood as breathing techniques. There are many different pranayama techniques taught by different yoga teachers. Patanjali's Yoga Sutras do not list any specific pranayama techniques, but lay out some profound guidelines. And this is a huge aha experience for me. So we already saw this first. After that, after pranayama comes the suspension of movement of inhalation and exhalation by pranayama, the regulation of breath. Now, this is really the key verse, the most profound verse for me for pranayama. And this is because of what I was taught in the yoga course that I'm taking. And we've seen many different videos from many different yoga teachers. And this is what this says, verse 50 of chapter 2. Breathing practices involving variations in number of breaths, duration of each breath, and breathing to different areas of the body during inhalation, exhalation, and suspension can result in the breath becoming long and subtle. And the first point here, I'll just say this, is we want conscious breathing. It's not sitting and doing a pranayama practice while you're, studying for an exam or driving your car. That doesn't work. Non-conscious breathing, because that's what I was doing for years, and I never had any benefit from it. It's just my mind was wandering all over the universe, thinking of all the things I had to do during the day. And I always wondered why it didn't really do anything for me. So we'll look at a few techniques, including Ujjaic Pranayama. But here's the next verse. The fourth state of consciousness dawns, which transcends internal and external experiences. Then the covering over the light is removed. So pranayama, when practiced properly, gives a transcendence experience, an experience of inner light, and the mind becomes fit for steadiness, dharana. So pranayama, regulation of prana or breath. Preparation for pranayama. This is also important, is proper posture. And I put this verse up again just because it's really key for me. Breathing practices involving variations in number of breath, durations of each breath, and breathing to different areas of the body, meaning being aware of different areas of the body during inhalation. And the key thing will be diaphragmatic breathing, and we'll explain why. And thus, pranayama requires correct, conscious breathing, being aware of one's body in the process of breathing. But first, we establish a good posture, and this is very much emphasized by all the schools of yoga, by sitting up straight, elongating the spine, and engaging these three bandhas, which are specific points in the body. One is, and we'll go through them now one at a time. So good posture is important. And that's important for me that I found out. So first is like pressing they call them the sits bones, which is like the bones at the bottom of your, by your pelvis, like and this is not something you would do during your meditation or anything, or even during the pranayama, but just getting your posture ready before you begin. So you squeeze your buttocks to engage the pelvic floor. And there's many exercises for pelvic floor strengthening and for grounding the mula bandha, which is the root lot, one of the three bandhas, and this is associated with the root chakra. If one wants, one can visualize roots growing from the root chakra into the ground. So he's sitting up straight. Then the next bandha is with the stomach or abdomen, drawing in the stomach. These are things or probably a lot have been told as a child. Sit up straight, draw in your stomach. If you go into the army, put a proper posture, draw your abdomen in. Otherwise, if we go on a computer, we end up always slouching over in bad posture that messes up our back. So drawing in our abdomen, inward and upwards, This engages our abdominal muscles and our diaphragm, and we'll explain a little more about the diaphragm in a minute, to strengthen our core and engage Uddiyana Bandha, the abdominal lock, and that's associated with the solar plexus chakra. Then the third step for proper posture is drawing the shoulders back and down, the head up and centered. Then in the yoga, for you, the actual bandhas in the throat. So we tuck the chin slightly downwards, not a big deal, towards the chest to engage the muscles in the neck and throat. And we would constrict the airflow a little. This is the most, the one that maybe people less heard about, engaged ground Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock associated with the throat chakra. And this calms the mind. Now, preparation for pranayama. So this is the last, or practicing pranayama. This is the last of the pranayamas. Note diaphragmatic breathing, and this you can get if you do research on the internet. So breathing from the diaphragm, especially deep and slow breathing, mechanically stimulates the vagus nerve, which runs through the diaphragm, triggering the parasympathetic nervous system and relaxation. Diaphragmatic breathing also increases available oxygen in the cells, which leads to many health benefits. So many, doctors are recognizing this now, health professionals, the importance of diaphragmatic breathing. So this is naturally a part of the pranayama practices. I'm just having to move something on my screen so I can see. The vagus nerve, or the 10th cranial nerve, is a major pathway connecting the brain to internal organs. It plays playing a crucial role in regulating vital functions like heart rate, digestion, inflammation, and acting as a key component of the parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. I put this in just so we understand this. It's a key significance to the effectiveness of calming the system down is awareness in the body and diaphragmatic breathing. All practices of pranayama require conscious breathing, being aware of one's body in the process of breathing. You may be amazed at the results. I was. So I put this in, and this is really important to me because I was just doing non-conscious breathing before, and for pranayama, it didn't do anything. But now that it's with conscious breathing, it's like all of a sudden I realized, oh, this is what I've been wasting my time. So we're going to look at 3 pranayama practices. The first pranayama is a simple one. It's just for getting started, box breathing. So on the count of 4, with the awareness on the body and the breathing, smoothly breathe in, first filling the diaphragm. You feel the diaphragm move out, your chest move out. Then your chest and lungs move out. Then the throat. So you're just smoothly filling yourself out. Then you pause for 4 seconds. Then on the count, you exhale, emptying the throat first, then the chest and lungs, then the diaphragm. Then you pause for 4 seconds. Then you start all over again. You repeat several times. So it's called box breathing because it's like 4 seconds. Inhale, 4 seconds, pause, 4 seconds, exhale, 4 seconds, pause. Then you keep going around in a circle. And this one's really easy. And it's like for teaching pranayama is the first one that you teach. And the second, there's many different pranayamas, but I just went directly into the alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. So after a normal inhale, and people in yoga exercises, normally they'll take their right hand, and they'll do the 2 fingers in the middle. You fold that in, put the thumb over one. So after close the right nostril, exhale, emptying first the throat, the chest, lungs, then the diaphragm. Then you pause a little, then you inhale, filling the diaphragm, the lungs, then the throat. Then you switch fingers. You close the left nostril with the pinky and the one beside it. I guess that's the ring finger. Open the right nostril, and then you exhale first from the throat and the chest and lungs, then the diaphragm. Then you inhale. So you just go back and forth. It's if you've been practicing alternate nostril breathing, it's pretty well, it's the same, except now your awareness of your body, that you're rather than having your awareness be flying around at all the errands you need to do during the day. Then the third and the last of the pranayamas is Ujjaic Pranayama, which is considered maybe the king of the pranayamas, or the one that's, and you just start by constricting the throat. In order to understand this, you can pretend you put your hand in front of yourself, pretend it's a mirror, and you try and, if you're fogging a throat, you can feel or fogging a mirror, you can feel your throat constricting. And that's with your mouth open. But now if you close your mouth and do the same, feel that same constriction and exhale through your nose, you feel that constriction. So you're engaging the muscles at the back of the throat, which is the throat bandha. And there's a noise. It can sound like, some people call it Darth Vader breathing, or it can be like ocean breathing. So it's similar to Brock's breathing with both nostrils open but without counting. So your head's forward. I'm sure you can't hear me, but I'm making a little noise, and I'm going to be breathing in from my diaphragm, then then my chest, then coming up to my throat, then hold it, then exhale in reverse order. So this engages all the bandhas, including the throat, and with the throat constricted slightly, one engages all three bandhas. The second niyama relates to dynamism, the field of behavior, and that relates to the second stage of the simple Saksha Brahm, fullness of fullness. The third limb, asana, which is seating the two together, relates to smriti, the third stage. The fourth limb, pranayama, relates to the stage 4, atma, the pulsating between the two. The fifth limb, pratyahara, is the stage 5, inside the energy source within. And then limbs 6 to 8, sanyama, relate to the process, the mechanics of material creation. And that's what comes out, stage 6. So we've found that the relationship between the tenfold structure of Brahm and the 8 limbs, or the 8 limbs of yoga, gives rise to this pulsation between fullness of fullness and fullness of emptiness that underlies and sustains creation. And for more details, see the previous interview with Dorothy Rowe. So that's it. So that's the full presentation.